This is the kind of match that people will be talking about for years to come. This is the kind of match that people will look back on and go, that's why I loved AEW. That's why I was a fan of this product. That is why WWE is doing what they had to do to make sure they stay ahead. Because when it comes to in-ring quality, you can talk about characters, storylines, other aspects, production. Sure, the WWE might kick AEW's behind in all those aspects. But when it comes to in-ring action, when it comes to the wrestling, AEW is far and above the superior product. And it's because of matches like this. As soon as I saw MJF and Kenny Omega come face to face, I knew they were going to put on an instant classic. I didn't need a storyline. I'm glad we got one. I didn't need a stipulation. We didn't need one. We didn't get one, technically, although it was streak versus title. All I needed was these two facing off. And we got it for free. That still blows my mind. Now, for this to work, there was no way we couldn't have got it before Full Gear, because Kenny Omega's reign was a year, right? Almost a year. Close to it, at least. For Kenny Omega and MJF to have this match, they had to have it before that time limit was up. If we had gotten to Full Gear or past Full Gear, MJF would have beaten Kenny Omega's streak, which would not really add to the drama. It would actually take away from it. So for this to really stand out, they had to have a match before Full Gear. So I understand why they put it on free TV, right? That doesn't make it any less crazy that we got this match for free. I could not ever imagine anyone, other than Tony Khan, but anyone putting this match on for free. This is a pay-per-view match. This should have been the main event of their, World's End? If that. And they gave it to us for free. I ought to send Tony Khan $50 right now. Tony Khan, give me your Cashapp. For real. Let me send you $50 real quick. Nah, but I knew it was going to be awesome. I had a feeling the moment they came face to face, oh yeah, I can't miss this match. This is going to be one of those matches. Would you believe me if I told you it was better than I thought it was going to be? Look, when I tell you this was damn near perfect, that is the best way I can describe it. There were some moments that were kind of off. And it's like two minor moments. And I remember them. And it both came from MJF. He tried to do he did do a Fosbury flop a la AJ Styles. Didn't quite get all the way over the top rope. You can tell he's not someone that does dives a lot. But for a first time try, wasn't terrible. Just wasn't AJ Styles great. Wasn't bad though. But you can tell when he did it, he almost didn't get over the ropes and Kenny had to run in to catch him. But just little minor things there. And the other one was, I think, the bridge, where they usually go for that little back pin and then they bridge up. MJF kind of slipped on that. I think that was the only two minor slip-ups. Yeah. Those two minor slip-ups. And even if you were watching and you caught it, it didn't really affect the match all that much, quite frankly. If you're just a guy watching and you're not a super fan like me who's been watching for 25 years, you didn't even notice it. You'll probably go back and watch it now and be like, that was a slip-up? Yeah. This was a incredible match. The back and forth was fantastic. Chemistry off the charts. They were made for each other. You can just tell they had a blast going back and forth. And see, it's matches like this that make me hope Tony Khan has signed MJF to a long-term content for a lot of money. Contract. Long-term contract for a lot of money. It better be at least, let me see, 10 million is 8 digits, right? 8 digits. It better be at least 8 digits. Nah, I'm joking. It won't be that much, but I'm pretty sure he's getting a good meal. A good few meal. Good. Do not let him go to WWE. I don't know what you have to do, Tony. Whatever you need to do to make him happy, make it happen. Now, to be fair, I think the only reason why MJF would want to go to WWE is because WWE right now is killing it. It's on fire. It's selling out arenas. And right now, AEW isn't doing that. I think even for this show, for this very match, they barely got over 3,000 people in the building. Barely. It was set up for 4,000, and they barely got 3,000. Now, it being on Saturday night didn't help, but pay-per-views are on Saturday nights. With the right kind of build and the right kind of storytelling, you could have still gotten a good 8,000-10,000 for this match. And yeah, it is what it is. They didn't do it. And people are going to talk about the viewership too. I haven't seen the ratings yet. I don't care. That doesn't matter. What matters is this. The people that were there in the building were loud. They were into it. They reacted to every move. The commentary was on point. Tony Schiavone as head commentator is amazing. Nigel McGuinness is awesome as color. And even Jim Ross was on point. You know when Jim Ross is at his best? Oh, you know the match was great. Man, look here. Kenny Omega. I know this guy gets a lot of praise. Some people might say he's overpraised. There's this, and it kind of goes both ways. There's this tendency for us as fans on the internet, web fans, to go to the extremes with certain talent. People like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair were overhated. And then people like Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, and Will Ospreay, and others were overpraised. They're like put on this high pedestal as like one of the greatest of all time. And I'm aware of that, but at the same time, when it comes to Kenny Omega, there's no one in this world that can debate that he is not one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. I would dare you to find me 20 people who can wrestle better than Kenny Omega. You can't do it. You can't. You might be able to find better characters, better promos. I'm talking about pure in-ring performance. Very few are better than Kenny Omega. And we saw that tonight. I love the home stretch. And I love the fact that even though Don Callis tried to interfere, his interference meant very little. If anything else, yes, his interference probably saved MJF's title reign, but by an inch. So we still continue the feud between Kenny Omega and Don Callis without it being shenanigans. Because that was my biggest fear. I felt like, man, probably what will happen is Don Callis will come out, someone will come out and screw over Kenny Omega, which would then set up their match for Full Gear, but also up a potential rematch for Kenny and MJF down the line. With the way this match played out, yeah, we got interference, somewhat distraction, I suppose, from Don Callis, which stopped Kenny from hitting the one-winged angel, which would have gotten him the victory. So there's enough there to continue their story. But it was pretty cut and dry who was the better wrestler here. So I thought, without question, easily one of MJF's best matches. I still don't think it's better than his match with Bryan Danielson. But the fact that I'm even saying that should tell you something. And I think that's something we need to talk about. When it comes to Wrestler of the Year for 2023, it shouldn't even be a debate. It shouldn't be a discussion. The Wrestler of the Year for 2023 for me is MJF. Spoiler alert. I just gave you the Wrestler of the Year. I think he's the best wrestler going right now in terms of character, in terms of promos, in terms of storytelling, in terms of in-ring action, merchandise sales, being a top face, being a world champion, status. My goodness. That bidding war for 2024, it's legit. You don't think WWE's gonna go after him? Again, I don't know. I don't know if he's already signed. He probably is already signed. They gave him the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So I'm assuming that's a good indication that he's staying for as long as possible. But again, even after the match, he was on the promo. He was on the microphone, cutting a promo, excuse me. And he talked about how I still don't know what I'm going to do. Now, this could be an Edge, an Adam Copeland situation where he did the same thing where it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. WWE's contract is in my email. I could always just go back. I might retire. It's up to me. And then he ended up showing up at AEW anyways. So MJF could just be playing us and then he just stays, which is what they need to happen. They need MJF to stay. And also, when I think about all the potential opponents having to wait in line for him, currently waiting in line for him, that being Samoa Joe, Wardlow, apparently Powerhouse Hobbs wants a shot, and I think Adam Cole when he comes back. That could pretty much seal it for the MJF. I think part of the reason why Tony Khan is booking MJF this way, having Samoa Joe, having Wardlow, having Powerhouse Hobbs, having this storyline with the Devil, who I think is Adam Cole, by the way. All of this happening, even with Jay White. Oh my goodness, I didn't talk about Jay White yet. We'll end it with that. They're doing all this to create future storylines to give him a reason to stay. And if that's what you had to do to make him happy, Tony, keep it going. And raise his paycheck, by the way. Give him a raise. If you haven't already. Yeah, when it comes to Jay White, and I guess I could end it on this, how the hell are you going to give us this match for free and then make us pay $50 to see Jay White versus MJF? There's no way in hell Jay White and MJF are going to top this. Now, look, I have nothing against Jay White. I've said it before, he's a great talent, especially inside the ring. I even think he's decent on the microphone. And what they're doing with Bullet Club Gold is entertaining. But in terms of the standard that's been set by world champions like Chris Jericho, like MJF, like Jon Moxley, like Kenny Omega, like Hangman Adam Page, like CM Punk. In terms of the standard set by those men, Jay White doesn't come nowhere near it. Because all of those men are amazing on the microphone, amazing inside the ring, are top quality storytellers, high quality merchandise sellers. They connect with the audience on a different level than anybody else. Jay White isn't there yet. Can he eventually get there? I can see it happening. He's got a lot of room left to grow. But right now, he feels secondary. The only reason why I like him going after the championship is that it gives more depth to MJF's run. That's the only reason why I'm okay with it. And why I'm not going to lose sleep over him fighting MJF for the title at Full Gear. I'm just going to be honest with you. In comparison to MJF versus Wardlow, MJF versus Samoa Joe again, and then what I got last night with Kenny Omega and MJF, he doesn't fit in, man. No offense to Jay White. It's just you feel secondary. There's no way in hell MJF is losing that belt to Jay White. He's getting that belt back. If anything else, what I care about when it comes to MJF and Jay White is how this ties into the devil mask. Whoever the mystery devil is. That's the only reason I care. Why I'm even remotely following this story. Otherwise, I would be like, this is the biggest filler episode of any show I've seen. This filler arc ain't doing it. But at the very least, I will say, despite my criticisms of AEW, and I've been knocking them hard over the last few months, especially after they lost CM Punk, I'm going to give them their props here. This was easily one of the best matches I have ever seen when it comes to AEW. Do not miss this. If you haven't seen it yet, find a way to watch it. Find a way. I'm pretty sure you can ask a friend to give you a link somewhere. I'm not saying pirate it, although you might have to, but I wouldn't necessarily do that. If there's a streaming service where you can go back and watch previous episodes of Collision, Jesus Christ, Tony, get on a streaming service, please. Get on a streaming service. If there's some type of a service you can go back and watch previous episodes of AEW, did I say NXT by accident? Whatever. AEW, Dynamite, or Collision, because NXT's on Peacock. Yeah, whatever service you can go back in time to watch this, spend the money and get the match. Trust me, get the match. It's that good. It's easily one of the best matches, and you should not miss it. And the fact that I'm doing a video on it should let you know how great it is. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Give me your thoughts. How'd y'all feel about the match? Did y'all think it was awesome? Did you think it was great? Am I overrating it? Am I overpraising it like most people on the internet do? I don't care. This is one of the best matches I ever seen. Thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you, Kenny Omega. Thank you, MJF. Let's get some more. Let's get some more matches. And it's about time I did some praising for AEW because I feel like I've been harping on them a little hard lately. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching. As always, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click the bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. You guys are awesome for watching this video all the way through. Please spend the rest of your Sunday taking care of yourself and having a great one. And always know, you are welcomed right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. When you're